On today's episode of True Life, we meet Casey, a normal college student to most, but she has a difficult problem. Will she be able to overcome this mountain in her life? Let's find out on today's episode of True Life. I suffer from Restless Leg Syndrome.
When I was growing up, RLS, or Restless Leg Syndrome, was never really a problem, but when I hit middle school, I don't know, I just started having these weird urges to move my legs to get rid of this strange feeling that my body kept having. And I mean, it was only on occasion, but I started noticing it then. And then when I hit high school, it just got worse and worse and worse until it was uncontrollable. And finally, my parents took me to the doctor where I was diagnosed with Restless Leg Syndrome. In everyday life, I tend to isolate myself just to avoid embarrassment because I never know when it's going to happen, and I don't know, due to that I've lost a lot of friends.
Casey and I have been friends since kindergarten, I think, and ever since then, when she started developing this restless leg syndrome, it's just been hard on our friendship. It gets in the way of all kinds of activities that we do, like sailing and mountain biking, and it's really just upsetting to me sometimes. So, I'm sorry, that's all I can do.
You need to calm down. Sometimes it's best to just get up and leave. I shouldn't even bother.
Was a long and dark December. From the rooftops I remember there was snow, white snow. Clearly I remember from the windows they were watching while we froze down below. When the future's
First day of class, I was sitting next to Casey, and I noticed that her leg was shaking. It was really, really distracting, because I was trying to pay attention. And so I made sure not to sit with her the next time I went to class, even though I don't really go to class that much. I met her at a party a few weeks later, and I realized what was really going on. It's crazy how something so simple can have that effect on you. She needs help.
I don't know, things have been really awful lately. In class, I can't stop my legs from just shaking, and there's breaks where they don't shake right now, but I haven't been going to class when I feel like I'm gonna need to just deal with that urge, and so my grades have been dropping because of that, and my parents are really supportive and I keep in contact with them, but it's still really difficult because no one really knows what's going on. They think I'm just not showing up, so I don't know. I just don't want to be a distraction.
Okay, so Casey, yes, she's been in my class for a while now, and I know she suffers with restless leg syndrome. It's been hard for her. It's been hard for everyone. It's very distracting. Sometimes her leg is just going, and we have to ask her to leave. And she's got just this thing where she's just kicking people. She doesn't mean to, but she just kicks people. And we were doing a quiz one time, and she just kicked her leg, and it just distracted everybody. I had to ask her to leave. So I noticed that she's been really suffering. She hasn't been showing up, and when she does show up, it's like her leg is just out of control, restless leg, and it's really a problem. I really hope that she gets help.
Hi, Casey.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, I'm Dr. Smith.
Casey.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
So I see you came in to talk to me today about Restless Leg Syndrome. I'm going to ask you a couple questions about your history, just to kind of get a feel of what's going on here. Now tell me, when did this start?
Well, I started like noticing it in middle school, but it really wasn't like anything bad. And then in high school, it started getting worse and worse and worse, and progressively got to where I kind of feel like it's unbearable. So.
And you're in college right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you'd say probably about 10 years of dealing with this.
I wouldn't say 10 years, but about like, well, I guess kind of, yeah. But it hasn't been like awful until like 4 years
progression,
ago.
okay.
4 years ago, yeah.
All right. Normally, when we have a progression of restless leg syndrome, it's due to alcohol usage. Now, tell me, do you use alcohol?
Yeah, a good bit.
All right. When did that start?
Well, I started like, I don't know, like occasionally I drink with my family, like my parents give me a glass of wine in like middle school and stuff, and then like, I don't know, towards like my junior, senior year in high school, I started partying more, and then college, it's, I don't know, relentless, I guess, so.
All right. Well, that's good. At least kind of we know where it's coming from, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know of any family history? Anybody in your family that's had this?
No one in my family has ever suffered from it, so, I mean, that's why my parents were just like, what's wrong with you? Like,
Okay. All right. Okay. So, do you have any times normally when you feel it's coming on, like triggers or anything like that?
Yeah.
Now, okay. Stress, anxiety, anything like that. Big before a test. Have you ever felt more during a quiz?
To be honest, it's always pretty bad.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know. I mean, at Georgia Tech, so I'm pretty much stressed all the time.
True. All right. Well, I'm going to write you this prescription. There's a new medicine out. Just came out. Did very well in clinicals. So I'm going to give you this medicine, this prescription, and you can go get it today. And I'm also going to suggest that you start going to a support group. And you talk about your restless leg syndrome, talk about your alcohol use, and definitely start cutting back on your alcohol usage.
It'll definitely be worth it. I'll do my best to go back on that. How does this start working right away, or is it
it's probably going to take a good week to get into your system before it starts. You start feeling it working.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for coming today.
I really appreciate it. Alright, so I went to the doctor earlier today, and she was really helpful. She recommended a support group and gave me a medicine, so hopefully it'll start working. She also told me to cut back on drinking, but it's college, so I don't know if that's actually going to work out, but I guess it's something we're going to figure out. Hoping for the best.
Welcome to the group today, everybody. We'd like to welcome our newest member, Casey.
Hi, Casey.
Casey, why don't you start us off today and tell us your story?
Okay, well, Restless Leg Syndrome, it started back in middle school, and it got worse, and finally when I hit high school, it was unbearable, so it's to the point where it's uncontrollable for me.
We feel your pain in this group, Casey. I mean, look at us all, except for me, because I'm the leader and I'm perfect.
I've actually had it since I was born. On the way out, I kicked my mom in the face.
It's been really hard for her, and I'm just proud of how she's come through with it.
Things have gotten a lot better with my RLS because I've been going to my support group, and I mean everyone there is really understanding, so it makes me feel like I'm getting to a better place in my life with what I'm suffering from, and the medicine's really been helping. I've had my attacks less severe and less frequent, so I mean I've been going to class a lot more. My grades are getting better, and I know I'm really hoping that it'll all end up pulling through well, but I guess only time will tell.
Time